Hey there, I'm Karen Marie, and this is Psyched Up for Sunday, January 23rd, 2022. I want to give a shout out to my daughter, Genoa, whose birthday is today, and she's 26 years old. So, this is my number four out of six kids and my youngest daughter. So, happy birthday to my baby girl, who's not a baby anymore. She's over in Hawaii enjoying herself in the beautiful lands over there. So, thank you guys who have subscribed to my channel. And if you haven't already, I would love for you to do so. I really appreciate those of you who watch my videos every week. Really appreciate the support. And for those of you who have donated to my channel, I'll put links below for those of you who would like to send me a tip. I'd appreciate them greatly. Also, just to let you know that daily I post 1-minute videos on Facebook, YouTube, and now I've joined TikTok. So I'll put the links for those various media sites below if you'd like to catch my dailies. I'll talk about transits that are jumping out for me for the day and draw a card for the day. So if you want to get a daily little dose of me, check out those social media sites. All right, going to talk about the transits for this week, and then I'm going to do mini readings for all 12 signs. I'll put the timestamps below so you can just check out the ones that apply to you. I suggest looking at your sun sign, your moon sign, and your rising sign. And as I've said before, we all have all 12 signs in our birth chart. Even if we don't have planets in that sign, we'll have a sign ruling a particular house. So you can always, if you know your chart, you can sit there and watch the videos and see how each of the readings apply to different areas of your life. So, righty. So right now we have the sun at 4 degrees of Aquarius. It's joined Saturn, that's in Aquarius, and Mercury is retrograde right now in Aquarius and will be backing back into Capricorn this week. We also have Venus retrograde in Capricorn. So, two of the personal planets are retrograde. Let me talk a little bit about those. Most people know about Mercury retrograde, but in case you don't, Mercury rules our thoughts, our communication, our mind. And so when Mercury goes retrograde, it's an opportunity to review, rethink, redo, go over things again in our minds. It can also wreak havoc in our communications with others, whether that's face to face connections or through social media or through text, emails, even snail mail can get glitches. Also, Mercury rules our communication, so our technology. So computers and telephones can go belly up during Mercury retrograde or have glitches or have problems. Also, Mercury rules our short-term travel. So car issues can often show up with Mercury retrograde, and travel delays are very common. So they're usually pretty mild, just uncomfortable or like, you know, frustrating. Um, you can breathe deeply and just plan extra time around things. Make sure you've said what you mean to say. Think about things before you have talks. Make sure that that text was sent and that email was sent and that letter got in the mail and that kind of thing. So we'll have Mercury retrograde for another week and a half or so. Mercury goes direct on Friday the 4th. So we've got another week and a half, a little bit more of Mercury retrograde. So Venus retrograde, and I still have the aftermath of having COVID. I'm COVID negative now, but there does seem to be these sort of long haul symptoms that are lingering afterwards. So I apologize for any coughing, congestion, that kind of stuff that comes up for me during this video. So Venus retrograde, Venus represents our relationships, who we love, what we love, how we receive energy. So Venus retrograde can often bring back old loves in our life. We can hear from old flames, old lovers, and it also can bring in people with whom we've had past life connections can come into our lives during Venus retrograde. I actually like Venus retrograde. there's always somebody new that comes into my life, I've noticed, when Venus is retrograde. So, and this is no exception. We will have Venus stationing to go direct this week on Saturday, the 29th. So both planets, once they go direct, still takes a while to get out of their shadow. So we're going to be feeling the lingering effects of Mercury and Venus retrograde through the month of February. And then by March, these planets will have lifted off and will be in new turf and carving out new data, new plans for us that they might have. I feel like all the planets are teachers. They're teaching us something, some form, something. Each represent different things in our lives. So the North and South nodes have just shifted last week. They stay in signs for 18 months, and then they come back to those same signs every 18 years. So the North node has now moved into Taurus, and the nodes move backwards, kind of like retrograde planets. So the North node right now is at 29 degrees of Taurus. The South node is at 29 degrees of Scorpio. So the next 18 months, they'll be doling out the lessons of those signs. So North node in Taurus. Taurus energy represents the earth itself. It's the second house in astrology, and it's how we feed ourselves, how we clothe ourselves, what our values are, how we earn our money, receive our money. It's ruled by Venus. So there's a strong emphasis on the Venus energy. So relationships then are highlighted, and our finances are highlighted over these next 18 months. There's a lot pointing to relationships in the chart right now, and have been. So the South node, so the North node is where we're collectively, everyone on the planet, we're learning these new lessons. So the lesson in how do we value ourselves more, how to receive what we're worth, both through our relationships and our work. There's a lot of focus on that. There's also a focus on food and how we feed ourselves, how we value our body, how we take care of our physical body. So a stronger emphasis and focus will be on these things. It's a great time to get healthy, to start new exercise or food routines, meditation routines. Tauruses are like things organized. They like to know what the plan is. They're hardworking, so we can all feel like we're rolling up our sleeves somewhat and digging in deeper to the things that create value for our lives, including our lives themselves, right? So placing more emphasis and value on ourselves, how we feed ourselves, how we clothe ourselves. Tauruses are into their clothes. You know any good Tauruses? They usually love their clothes, their homes, their food. They're also very creative and artistic often. So we all are under this Taurus energy for the next 18 months. So we may be inspired to create things more, and again, make these changes in our health and our bodies. South node in Scorpio. Scorpio is a water sign. It's the deep, dark waters. It's the 8th house in astrology. So this is the house of death and transformation. Scorpio is ruled by Pluto, and Pluto is the major player this year. So Pluto is death and transformation. So with the South node moving through Scorpio, this theme of transforming our lives in a very deep way. Scorpio is also very psychic, very intuitive. It's the secrets. So a lot of secrets can be revealed over the next 18 months that we're going to go on the world stage, because this is collectively. It's collectively what we're letting go of. So we may be letting go of public figures whose secrets get revealed. Just saying, it's one way it could show up. It's a letting go of old karmic patterns. So transforming things. So it's a wonderful energy for transforming our lives. Like whatever you really deeply want to change in your life can be addressed and shifted over these next 18 months. Development of your psychic abilities can really happen in a strong, powerful way over these next 18 months. I'm going to stop and take some sip of my tea. Okay, so today we had And for the next couple of days, we have Juno, which is an asteroid that represents the good wife, represents committed relationships in the astrology chart. Someone, the loyal partner who's going to be there for you no matter what. So Juno is conjunct Pluto at 26 degrees of Capricorn right now. So any planet that comes into contact with Pluto, Pluto is a transformative planet. It will always change whatever it connects with. It's death and transformation. It's power and control. It's pulling up the deep, dark secrets. It's shifting your life in a major way. So Juno, this good wife, this commitment with partnership, combined with Pluto, the death and transformation planet, can be bringing up transformation in established, committed relationships. They're going to be, something that's transformative in those relationships. It can be transformative in a good way, like deepening the connections, bringing out a higher realm in the relationship. But it also can be the death of something. So it can be the death of relationships showing up with this connection. It can be new relationships coming into your life, relationships exiting your life. And relationships of all kinds can be affected right now because Venus is retrograde and Venus is in Capricorn as well. We've got a lot of planets in Capricorn right now. Mercury's going to back into Capricorn this week. Mars is going to enter Capricorn tomorrow. So we've been having a stellium. We've been dealing with these Capricorn energies for a couple of years now, because 2 years ago is when we had the great conjunction of Pluto along with Jupiter, along with Saturn, which is where this pandemic started with that energy going on. So Pluto is transforming how we've done our society in the late degrees of Capricorn. And we'll be having our Pluto return here in the United States. I've talked about this before. It's exact on February 22nd is when the first exact conjunction. The United States Pluto is at 27 degrees of Capricorn. So Pluto at 26 is 1 degree off of it. So we're already feeling this rumbling of power and control issues in our country, in around the world as well. Just because we're having our Pluto return here in the United States, we're going to feel this energy most potently. But Pluto is still in later degrees of Capricorn, which is shaking up how we formed things, Capricorn, governments, Capricorn, into the future, this last decan of Capricorn. So governments around the world are getting challenged, especially if they're not running in favor of all the people in their nation, right? And so there's been this division in our country since its inception. Women had no power in this country when it was formed. We've gained some ground in that way, but certainly we're not on equal playing field yet. So one of the things that I feel is being highlighted by Pluto in these last degrees of Capricorn and this Pluto return is the rise of the feminine energy in governing our country and the world. Like the male and female energy to really be fully functioning needs to be partnership side by side. Everybody matters. So Pluto will be moving into Aquarius, which is the sign that represents all humanity, by 2024. But we have 2 more years of these towers of Babel that will be falling, like institutions, governments, and power over people dynamics are going to be crumbling and falling left and right throughout this year and through the next couple of years. We're going to see all kinds of institutions that are top down, the white man with the power running things, coming down. But it's like Custer's last stand right now. Things are like reaching ahead and vying for that old school power grab right now. We see it all over in our country right now, trying to go backwards with old rules, old laws, right? It's only these if they do shift, are only going to last for a while, because this new paradigm is destroying the old, bringing in a whole new world order, is how I see it. So the next couple of years are going to be hugely transformational, but this year in particular is definitely the year of transformation. And I believe if you're doing your inner work and listening to your inner guidance, you're going to be knowing how to navigate the vicissitudes of what this year is going to be bringing. So we've got the moon in Libra right now. It's in the mid-decan of Libra. Libra is about relationships, about fairness and justice. It's the scales that are balancing back and forth. So the moon in Libra also brings a highlight on relationships. So we've got the South Node in Scorpio, which is bringing up like sex, actually. Issues with intimacy are coming up and will be addressed over the next 18 months is another thing, because sex is also one of the things that the eighth house represents. Also taxes. So there could be a transformation in taxes and our tax systems here over the next 18 months. I've already talked about Venus retrograde, bringing up old themes in relationships. It's an opportunity to really transform your karma in relationships. So a lot of focus on relationships with Juno conjunct Pluto, Venus retrograde, even the North Node moving into Taurus, and about values. Like, are you in relationships where you feel like you're being treated as someone that's valuable to your partner? I've been having a lot of clients lately that are contacting me and getting readings, and they're in these relationships where they're not being valued as they should be. They're not being respected and honored. And so those relationships where you're not finding yourself loved and valued and cherished are really going to be going belly up, which is a good thing. Like relationships that are not serving you, it's good to let them fall away and be replaced by something better. What else do I have here in my notes? So Mercury's going to so Mars is going into Capricorn tomorrow on Monday. Mercury's backing back into Capricorn by Tuesday. So these coming from opposite ends of the stage into the Capricorn. So the Capricorn energy, where Pluto's been for a while now, and and we have Mercury and Mars and Venus here. So the three personal planets will all be in Capricorn this week. So Capricorn is a hard-working energy. It's a do what I say I'm going to do. It's pulling out all the stops. It's like being driven to succeed. It's knowing where your limits are, where boundaries are. Who is ruling your life? Are you in control, or is somebody or something else in control? Does this work for me, or does this not work for me? Like Capricorns can really call it like it is. They're also natural leaders. So there's like, are you putting your energy into your life in the way that you desire to be doing that? Retrograde, Mercury and Venus retrograde in Capricorn is a chance to review how you're putting your energies, rethinking Mercury and reapplying your energy, your love. Where's your heart? Is it in the right place? Are you loving yourself in the way that you should? I feel like these are some of the questions to be chewing on this week. All right, so the moon's in Libra. Moon will be moving into Scorpio on Tuesday, which really adds extra intuition. The moon is our intuition anyway. It's our emotions, it's our inner feelings. So the moon in Scorpio can bring up deep, dark emotions. Mercury retrograde will be trining the North Node on Wednesday. So this is an opportunity to get some insights around these issues I was talking about with the Taurus, the valuing yourself. Like, are you valuing yourself? Are the people around you valuing you? Is your work creating value for yourself? Like, there's an opportunity to have some realization, some aha moments around your thinking around things and reviewing these things. The moon goes into Sag on Thursday. Jupiter moves up to 6 degrees. So it's kind of trucking along, kind of at a quick pace through Pisces. Right now, it's at 5 degrees of Pisces. We also have Neptune, and Neptune's been in Pisces since 2011. So it's been there for a while. Neptune is the ruler of Pisces. So with Neptune and Pisces, we've all been drawn more to develop spiritual practices, psychic abilities growing in strength, and showing up more loud and clear for us. Jupiter expands things. It's the good luck planet. It brings benefits. So with Jupiter in Pisces, there's extra juju being brought to our spiritual and our psychic connections. It's also, Pisces is the slippery fish, right? Fish going 2 different directions. And so it can on the top level, all this spiritual psychic energy. On the bottom level, it can be all these things that we're not addressing in our life: addictions, delusional thinking, things where we're just like letting our energy kind of deplete and swim away from ourselves. So if you're not really applying yourself and moving in the way that you're feeling guided to, you may feel even more off track with Jupiter and Pisces. It may really be illuminating, like addiction things could really show up louder too, because also Neptune on the downside is illusion, delusion, addiction. So Jupiter's not quite conjunct Neptune yet, but it will be here in a few months. I'll talk about that as it gets closer to it. This is a once in a lifetime conjunction. We haven't experienced Jupiter and Neptune together in the skies in our lifetime. So this is a huge, big energy that we're moving towards now as Jupiter has moved into Pisces. So these can be some huge spiritual great awakening moments. Dreams can become more vivid with both of these planets in Neptune. And again, it's a wonderful time to dive deeply into spiritual practices and your psychic development. So I see those as a professional psychic who my main work, I really feel, is to help everyone get in touch with your own intuitive abilities. And in my readings, I really endeavor to mirror and validate your own intuition so that you can see how that's operating in your life and you can get your intuition confirmed. So Friday, we'll have Mercury conjunct Pluto. Again, any planet that gets close to Pluto transforms it. So Mercury's already retrograde. So we're already rethinking, reviewing, going back over things in our mind, changing our thoughts, hopefully, around things thinking patterns that don't serve us. It's a wonderful opportunity to go, I don't want to think that way about myself anymore, or about the people around me, or about my work or my life. Stinking thinking can really be reversed with Mercury retrograde. That can be a positive application of it. Again, Mercury conjunct Pluto, Pluto's death and transformation. It can really transform this energy. Pluto can bring things to the light. So secrets can be revealed, things that you've been keeping to yourself, keeping away from yourself, things you've been denying to yourself can just come up in your face. Or secrets that someone else has been keeping from you, communication that's not been going well, that can come to a head, that can come to light. You can really find out what people really think about you. They can just say it or blurt it out. That can be happening. You can have transformative conversations, however, as well. You can dive even deeper, because Pluto is the god of the underworld, right? So it can help you dive really deep in conversations. If you've been wanting to dive to a deeper level in your relationships, this week is a great week to do that, to have some transformative conversations. But those transformational conversations can also mean a discussion about, okay, this isn't working for me. Yeah, it's not working for me either. Yeah, let's not do this anymore. Those kind of conversations can definitely be happening this week. Venus goes direct on Saturday, the 29th. Yay. And Venus will be trining Uranus that same day. So Uranus is the great awakener. It's at 10 degrees right now of Capricorn. It's going to be moving to 11 degrees this week. It'll be at 11 degrees when Venus goes direct. and it'll be trining it. So Venus will be at 11 degrees of Capricorn, be trining Uranus. Trines are positive connections. So this is the great awakener along with relationships. So you might decide to commit in a relationship this week. You can decide, oh, this is my person this week. You could also decide, this is not my person. I don't want to be with this person anymore. It's also relationships. I mean, it's relationships, but also our money. Venus is also our finances and our money. So there can be great, like, aha, money coming in. You could win the lotto. Like, I would play the lotto on Saturday, just saying. But it can be surprise money coming in. It could be surprise money going out as well. I mean, you never know with Uranus. It's the great awakener. It's like, who knows? Sudden unexpected is the code word for Uranus, and it's the ruler of Aquarius right now. That's where the sun is. That's where Saturn is, and Mercury for a couple days is still there. So I really feel this great awakening around conversations. Like, I feel like there's some really great conversations to be had. If you don't fly off the cuff, if you could really, be patient with each other in these deep conversations, I feel like this can be like one of the best weeks for communication if you're with a conscious present partner. If you've got a partner that's checked out and whatever, and you've already been at each other, you've already been fighting, I've already been warring, it could be just a brouhaha this week with horrible fights. So it's really take the high road, have a wonderful transformative conversation. That's the better way to go for it. But don't be surprised if there's not impulsive, out of nowhere conversations or news that's come in too. The moon will move into Capricorn on Saturday, and then on Sunday we'll have the sun squaring Uranus. So this could be a very intensive day. And again, we feel transits ahead of time, after the fact, as well as the day that they're exact. So just because I've said this date, like, you can start feeling these energies beforehand. You can feel them afterwards lingering. So, but the sun square, this is a difficult aspect. It's two planets coming to our head at the same time. So the sun is our heart and illuminates things. Uranus is like, loves to throw curveballs, wake people up, sudden unexpected things. So this can be a huge awakening. I feel like there's going to be some big media news this week. Secrets being revealed, secrets coming out about public figures. And there could be also the sun squaring Uranus can be an earthquake or volcanic energy or crazy weather, because Uranus is in Taurus. Taurus rules the earth, and with a tension square can really bring out like explosive energies. And again, explosive conversations, explosions, like it could be a day that somebody goes to war somewhere on the planet. It could be one of these days where someone goes cray cray and takes their negativity out on a group of unsuspecting people with their assault rifles. Especially with Mercury retrograde, this is really wreaking havoc on people who don't have clear thinking to start with. And then Mercury retrograde just can really stir up people's mental illness. It can also make logical, rational people be more intuitive. That's a benefit. And again, this theme of review, rethink, repattern, reassess, recalculate, resend, all these re's come into place with these planets retrograde. So we will have a big shift. Venus feels lovely to me this week, even though it's retrograde. And even if there's relationships that go belly up, you're supposed to let go of them. If they can't weather the storms, and if the vicissitudes of things like Mercury retrograde or whatever's going on with the weather or politics stirs up your relationships, it's not a stable relationship. But if you're in a relationship that is good, that is healthy, this can be a week where you just add some rings on the tree of the relationship and really grow and really expand and have these beautiful transformative conversations. So secrets being revealed, deep level conversations being had, things coming to the light, hard work on yourself, deciding to value yourself and shift some things and work hard at it. These are the themes of this week as I see them. And again, if you want to know how these planets and such are affecting you personally, you can always contact me for a reading. Happy to do that for you. All right, so now I'm going to take a swig of my tea, go on to doing readings for all 12 signs. And this will be what each sign needs to know, see, realize about this upcoming week. And we'll start with the Aries. We have what I call the Buddha card. This is the consciousness card. This is a call to spiritual practices, for meditation, for prayer, for chanting, getting in touch with the divine within yourself. I believe everyone has a Buddha nature. You can call it your Christ self, your higher self, your divine self. It's the part of you that's connected to your eternal soul. It's the part that continues on after you put your ego and your body down and you leave this planet. I believe in reincarnation. I believe our souls continue on. This inner voice that everyone has, this psychic voice that everyone has, your intuition that everyone has, is the voice of this higher self. So to be able to hear this voice more loudly and clearly, it's important to dive into spiritual practices or whatever centers you and gets you in touch with that inner voice and quiets the logical, rational mind. Our mind, our beliefs, our thinking are programmed from birth. It's everything we've learned, everything we've heard, everything we've told ourselves over and over and over again. Intuition is a completely different voice within. There's a different vibe that comes from the intuitive voice. It's more of a, wouldn't you love to? Oh, it'd be fabulous if. Oh, I'm really drawn to, like, there's a beautiful, loving vibe that comes from your inner voice, your intuition. Whereas your mind can often be very harsh, very critical. You need to do this. You should do that. You shouldn't have done that. That's your mind, not your inner voice, right? The other thing that can block your inner voice and this connection to the divine within you is your emotional state. If you're too charged, even too happy, can pull you out of touch with your inner, like, it's not like the Buddha, it talks about the 8 winds, not being too attached to great things or horrible things, right? Not tied to praise or censure, prosperity or decline. Like the positives or the negatives can pull us out. Charged negative emotions, charged positive emotions can pull us out. It's about centering and finding that middle way, finding that peace, the stillness within. And from that place, it's easier to access your intuition. It's easier to get those downloads from spirit, from your higher self, from your spirit guides. So this, with the Buddha card coming up, the consciousness card coming up, there's definitely messages from your higher self that are trying to get through to you this week. Your higher self knows the way. Even if your ego self has no clue, your higher self knows what's up and what journey you're on and where you're at on your journey. We've all got guides around us. I have a team. I feel like everybody has more than just a guide. You know, the way I see it, we all have several, and the loved ones that we've known that have crossed will often come and hang out around us as well. So when we tap into this higher self, we can be aware and in contact with our guides, our own higher divine self, the loved ones that have crossed, messages that we need to receive for right now in our lives, right? This is, I always give everyone the guidance that the what I suggest is every day starting off with getting quiet, getting still, and asking your higher self, what today do I feel guided to do? Not what do I need to do today? What should I do today? What do I feel guided to do? What am I feeling drawn? Where am I feeling drawn to put my energies? And then paying attention to the gentle, subtle prompts. Initially, you could just be finding yourself caught up in monkey mind. But over time, if you're persistent and consistent, you're picking up the tools of focusing on breath work, focusing on chanting, taking a long walk in the woods, or taking a run, or soaking in the tub, or staring into the fire, whatever does it for you, where you can disconnect from your brain, your mind, and connect with your higher self, your intuition. That's how you can receive the messages that your higher self is always there. You don't have to go and get anything. It's really about removing the obstacles to connecting with that part of yourself that's already here and present. You don't have to go get the divine from somewhere else. It's right here. It's usually just covered up, kind of like a room of someone that's hoarding, right? Like underneath all the stacks of the papers and the books and the clothes in the pile and all that is a beautiful, clean room, right? So underneath all the stacks of debris in our mind and our emotional body and our belief systems and all those things that we stack up internally is this divine that knows the way, right? And if we follow that on a daily basis, we're in rhythm with our life. And how do you know if you're in rhythm with your life? There's a flow to your life when you're in rhythm. When you're listening to and following your intuition, there's a synchronicity, right? You think of someone and they call, or you call someone and they said, I was just thinking about you, right? You get the promptings, you get the guidance. There is this flow and ease to your life. Even in crises or difficult situations, you can be guided if you stop and tune in and not get carried away by an emotion that runs rampant or thoughts that go cray cray, right? So this is about centering, getting in touch with your divine self, and enjoying that you are a Buddha. You have the risen Christ within you, right? That divine, holy aspect is already fully present. Remove the debris, contact that this week, Aries. All righty, Tauruses. The Tauruses get the maturity card. This card is about self-care. It's what do you need to do to care for you, not what do you need to do for others, but how can you turn up the volume, turn up the dial on self-care. Do you need to soak in the tub more? Go get some bath salts, get some essential oils, get some scented candles, go for a walk, get a massage, eat healthier, drink more water. These are all the things that you may feel guided to do. Not acting maturity. I'm getting just, the childishness that can happen when you're like throwing a temper tantrum, as any good Taurus can do, can throw a great tantrum and can like get all stubborn and locked down. This is about removing yourself from interaction with others and being with yourself and having a relationship with you and valuing you and not trying to seek approval from someone else. This is about you approving of you, you listening to your own intuition and following your own inner guidance, and then realizing that your life is flowing much better when you're doing that. And it may be time to stop, reassess, rethink, revalue. With all these Mercury and Venus retrograde energy going on, you may need to just put on hold your projects, right? Reshift your energies. What is going to take care of you the best? What's going to bring you joy? What can you do that can really spark that inner sense of joy, and not childish ways, but childlike joy, And like, to me, there's something coming up about what you've had passion for from childhood, like whether that I've always wanted to be a musician, or I always loved cooking, or whatever it is that's been with you your whole life, that maybe you haven't tended. Maybe you are tending it and it just needs even more attention. I'm just getting that putting energy into like heart's desire is also important for you this week, Tauruses. Like, what do you love? What are you passionate about? What, and about you, not other people. Like, this is really about stoking your own internal fires in some way. And I'm really getting the creative energy. The North Node has now moved into your sign. So this is go time for you. It's kind of like you should really be able to shine in any crafts, any work, anything that you're doing, whether that's for fun or for your survival. Like, if you, whatever's supporting you in your life should be enhanced and heightened over the next 18 months. If you're listening to your own intuition and following your own inner voice, right? And stoking the flames that you feel guided to stoke. Don't worry if anybody else gets it. You just need to get it. You need to put energies in what you feel guided to do and care for yourself and nurture yourself so that you feel good about yourself. I'm also getting like that there's been some, just maybe you're not treating yourself. Maybe you're not getting enough sleep. Maybe you're eating too much of something, or drinking too much of something, or taking too many somethings, or not enough somethings. Like, I feel like there's a balance that you're out with in terms of how you're taking care of your health. You may need to get to a doctor and reassess. Like, if you're on medications of some kind, you might need to get those shifted or altered, especially if you don't feel good. Like, I'm getting there's some Tauruses that just don't physically feel good. And also, have you been feeling not good for a while and haven't gone to a doctor to have something checked out? Like, you need to check in with some of you need to check in with a physician and just do a whole physical body scan. If there's something that's of discomfort or dis-ease within, go get it checked out. Don't let it run too long and let something manifest that can end up being lethal because you ignore yourself. So pay attention to how you feel guided this week, especially when it comes to self-care and caring for your health. And it's okay to unplug from the world and just nurture you this week. I know some of you have family and relationships and you can't completely be alone, but you can communicate to your significant others, I just need some space for me. Like, I love you, but I'm going to get some space to myself, kind of thing. Yeah. And I think there's some beautiful creative projects that can come out of you Tauruses this week too. So dive into the music, dive into the paints, dive into the with a hammer and nails and build something. I don't know. There's definitely, and it feels like something you would love, not for someone else. Do something that would bring you joy. All right, we'll go to the Geminis. Okay, Geminis. I have pulled the exhaustion card. This is like doing too much and not getting enough rest. It could be that you're sick and your body's fatigued. You're tired of something as well as being physically tired. It feels like you're burning the candle at both ends. You're trying to please a bunch of people. Maybe you've been behind on projects and you're just trying to get it caught up. Okay. So even though it feels like you don't have the time, create the time to meditate, breathe deeply, center yourself, and then follow guidance about where to put your energies. And if you need to take some time off or take a nap, go to bed more early, soak in the tub, like you're not going to, if you keep pushing at it the way this card, like you're going to end up just totally fatigued and exhausted and not able to function. You're going to create more dis-ease in your life if you don't slow it down and take care of yourself. Some of you are overthinking. I mean, y'all are ruled by Mercury, and Mercury's retrograde. And so, you know, your two little twin head self could be just spinning with too much mental activity going on, and not enough being in touch with your intuition. I'm getting like there's almost like this vice grip, or feel like something's coming after. Like, I can't, I've got to do this. No, you can always take time to breathe deeply. And even if you, I mean, get up a little bit earlier to add them extra meditation time. Doesn't take much time to stop and breathe deeply. You know, even like, right in the middle of what you're doing, you can just focus on breathing deeply, right? You could be stopped at a stoplight. All red lights mean breathe deeply, right? When you have to go to the bathroom, it's a time to stop and breathe deeply. You can imbue deep breathing and meditation time into your day. But I really feel like some of you may be sick and tired of being sick, or you're dealing with conflict and you're tired of dealing with conflict, or you're dealing with too much work and you're tired of dealing with too much work. So slow it down, take some rest. What is there to focus on that you enjoy? Have you been doing something for fun? Even if you sit and play a video game for 5 minutes that you enjoy, or sit down at the piano and play one song, or turn on some music that you love and dance, or just watch something that's going to make you laugh. Like, it can be little doses, but you feel like you've just been putting your nose to the grindstone and then dragging yourself into the into a dead end is what it feels like, you know. So breathe deeply and often. Enjoy the sunrises and the sunsets. Enjoy what there is to enjoy. Stop and smell the roses. Stop and get some roses for yourself. Some beautiful flowers. Yeah. Ease up on the gas. You can't, this feels like you're sitting in park with the accelerator floored, right? So it feels like you're spinning your wheels anyway. So, and you're telling yourself you have to, you need to, but I don't get that that's completely the truth. Some of it is necessity, granted, but you can shift the energy tremendously just with conscious intent to, okay, guys, come in and help me here. Like, let's smooth out. Is there anything I can delegate? Is there anything I can take off my plate? Do I really need to do this today? Can this be postponed? Do I really need to figure this out today? Can I try to think about this another day? Like, it feels like you need to remove things from your to-do list and from your brain. Like, take things literally out of your mind. You might even have that meditation. Like, okay, I with this, or lift everything and turn it up and over. All right, spirit guides, the divine, take this, 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 take this. You know, Calgon it away, climb in the tub, soak it up. You know, just really give yourself some peace and space. Then you can have a better sense of ordering your energy, ordering your time, and having some flow come back in. You're not going to be able to get things done with this exhaustion energy. So stop and take a break before you end up sick. And some of you may be sick, in which case, then all right, you're going to have to let go of what you can't do today. Your health is calling to you first. If we don't have a good, healthy constitution in the system, we can't get anything done, right? You don't want to drive yourself into the ground. So enough said, I believe, right? You heard me. Take a break, breathe deeply, enjoy your life. That's what I get for the Geminis. All righty, we'll move on to Cancers. All right, Cancers, y'all have the fighting card coming up. So this could be internal fighting. You're fighting with yourself about something. It could be that you're literally fighting with someone else, legal fights, arguments, disputes of some sort. And you're like, something's really pissing you off. And it feels like with good reason, like you have some stuff that you can totally be angry at. You may just be angry at God or life because you're having to deal with something that feels unfair. There is this sort of unfairness feeling that something doesn't feel like, why me? Why am I having to do it? Why is it looking like this? Why are you treating me like this kind of energy? And again, it feels like there's an important to go within and calm the fire and tell yourself, this too shall pass. What do I feel guided to do in this situation? Is there anything that, I mean, some of you may need to write this out, write in all the battle that's in your head and just get it out, and just like writing in a journal or even writing on a piece of paper and then burning it can help just clear some of this. Is some of you are dealing with some old anger and old grief that's just been like hurt feelings are there. It's not just anger, but there's a struggle. It's like, oh, you're fighting to just get to stuff. It feels like you're like treading water and you're like tired of treading water. Like, when is this going to shift? When is this going to end? I do feel like you're coming to the end of an old karmic pattern, an old karmic struggle, like whatever this struggle is, especially if you're engaged in a struggle with someone else. It feels like be careful with your words. Less is more. The less said, the better. Like whoever you're fighting with, they're not hearing you. Nothing's getting through to them. You're trying to convey a message or get someone else to see something and they're not seeing it. What do you need to see? What do you need to know? Validate yourself, even if this other person is not validating you, or they're being cray-cray, or they're being unreasonable, or they're filing a lawsuit against you and it's not fair, or they're, they're raging at you and it's not fair. There's inner direction that can guide you in a different way, away from conflict. But your environment is always a reflection of yourself. So if the fight is external, ask yourself, what within me is fighting with me? Like, what part of myself is feeling not valuable, not loved, not supported? Like whatever that other person is doing, if it's with an external force, what is it that you're feeling like you're embroiled with? What are the deep qualities that you're dealing with? And then what are the antidotes to this? Like the opposite of war is peace, right? So how can you create peace within right now, today, this moment, in the midst of maybe you have to go through a lawsuit, maybe you can't get out of it, you have to go to court for something, you can't just leave a partner who's raging at you and being abusive. What can you do though? What do you feel guided to do? You can leave your house in most cases. You can stop and just meditate in the middle of it. You can, what a great practice to disengage from a fight and go straight into meditation, chanting, prayer, going into the bathroom stall if you're at a public place. If it's your boss at work and he's just an angry SOB, how can I find peace and joy within myself and like just not even be affected by their negative energy? If you bring your Buddha nature, your Christ self, your divine self out to the fullness, right? Then you can have that Jesus on the cross of like, they know not what they do. You can have compassion on someone who's struggling, like, well, they're obviously suffering or they wouldn't be taking it out on me. If you can get to that place, you win. You win, right? If you can get to the place where you can have compassion for yourself when you're struggling, and if the battle is within you and you can be compassionate with yourself, you're fighting an illness, you're fighting some sort of inner demon, you're fighting some sort of inner battle, you're fighting an addiction. Can you have compassion for yourself? Can you bring in that divine, holy love, right? That is an energy that's healing and can truly shift things. So that's what I'm getting, is a need to just infuse, download, like, drop the oxygen mask. And that's not only full of fresh air, it's full of beautiful, compassionate, divine love. Seep in that. Like, your job this week is to just beam love, compassion at yourself. You may need to get like a little, this is rose water in a spritzer. I've put in some rescue remedy in it, and I spritz myself a lot whenever I just need to clear off something out of my energy field. I have another bottle that I keep with me in the car. So if traffic is getting too frenetic, you might need to just spritz yourself and just imagine, okay, I'm covered with divine love, and really up that compassion, and that can really shift this energy. But if you're putting up with someone who's abusive on a regular basis, it may be time to exit the relationship. Take a break, go see your mother, go stay with a friend, right? Remove yourself from it. Like, don't stay in a situation where you're being harmed. And you may have to do some tough love. There may be someone you just want to throttle yourself. Maybe the anger is coming from you and you're the one screaming at someone or wreaking havoc on someone, right? So you need some love and compassion then as well. I feel like whatever the scenario is, self-love, divine love, and compassion is the antidote to the problem. Will resolve it and put you in a beautiful place. All righty. We'll go to the Leos. Okay. You guys get the maturity card. This is about self-care, self-compassion, loving yourself, taking some time off away from caring for other people, and nurturing you. Bath, soaking in the tub, going to get yourself some new clothes, essential oils, buying yourself some flowers, buying yourself a new piece of music to learn, or a new project that you want to dive into creatively. I feel like you're avoiding that. You've gotten some creative ideas, some things that you want to manifest, and you've been avoiding doing them, like staying busy. Maybe you're working legitimately with something else, but I feel like there's something deeper within that needs to come out. It almost feels like a book you want to write, or a project something you want to build, or something you want to make, or something you want to create in your life. Even if it's like a love relationship you're wanting to manifest in your life. Like, I'm feeling that you need to have a vacation from yourself, Leos, that you need to, like, okay, change the scenario, change the scenery somehow. Maybe you need to change up the furniture in your house or your bedroom. To do a thorough cleaning, and that's what it feels like, sort of a spring cleaning, early kind of energy, clearing out your mind. Maybe you need to listen to some meditation tapes, some uplifting, inspirational videos on YouTube. Maybe you need to get a reading with me. There's just, I feel like there's a download from your higher self, a download from your creative spirit that wants to manifest. And you need to give yourself the time and the space to receive the vision, or to tend the vision, to put it into action, nurturing yourself more, doing more meditation, healthy foods. You might want to do like a couple days of fasting or raw foods or something to clear out your intestinal tract or something. It feels like there's a cleaning that needs to happen internally and externally. Like, it feels like even just cleaning up your environment or cleaning up your food. You don't have to go to dramatic extremes like fasting, just like taking out alcohol and sugar for a few days and just cleaning up your diet in that way. It feels like there needs to be some self-improvement in a real tangible way, cleaning up your environment in a real tangible way so that you could think more clearly, have more energy. It feels like you felt depleted, drained, just not your usual self. And so self-care, tending yourself, listening to your higher self, doing some sort of creative project that may really bring you some joy, I feel like is the answer for you guys this week for the Leos. All righty, Virgos. How are you handling this Mercury retrograde, Virgos? Usually can be difficult on the Mercury ruled planets like Gemini and Virgo. Sometimes that's an opportunity to bypass that mind that you're always so caught up in. Okay, the trust card is coming up for you guys. This is taking a big leap of faith. It's trusting, the bottom line is trusting yourself. And trusting your own connection to the divine, your own inner wisdom, that you can trust your own intuitive voice and you can be on the right track by listening to yourself. There's also could be trust issues in relationships coming up, questioning, can I trust my partner? Can I trust my boss? Can I trust my mom, my dad, my kid? Can I trust these people that are around me? In some cases, you'll get a yes, I can, and take a big leap of faith. And in some cases, that is a no. Your gut is going, this doesn't, no. And to me, this week, if there's a person in your life that you cannot trust, you're going to have there is going to be some secrets revealed. There is going to be some information that comes to light to you this week to confirm whether you can trust this person, this path, this place, this energy or not. There are also, since this person is sort of flying through the air, there could be literally flight happening. You can be in a plane. You can be taking a trip somehow, and you have to put your trust in the pilot, right? And I'm just feeling like this is taking a big leap of faith in something. Like if you've been wondering, can I do this? Can I really do this? And you're like on that high dive, like, can I I feel like the answer is yes, go for it. Take a big leap of faith and dive after what you feel guided to do. In many cases, you've been being guided for a while and maybe you haven't taken action yet, or maybe you're through the process, you have been taking action, but there's still some more energy to put towards something. You may need to refresh and renew your excitement about a project or a relationship. But I feel like, and also just because this person is, it just feels like breath work is important. This person's flying through the air. So that breathing more deeply and just this energy of the pink and the blue, to me, this is like faith, trust, love, compassion, like having compassion with yourself, going for it. I'm really getting there's something you should just go for it. Go for it. Take that leap of faith and go for it. Yeah, this is the week. Trust is the key. And I'm getting the word rust is in the word trust. So is there something that's like an old project that just needs to be finished up this week? Also, there may be some lingering projects that you just need to finish and complete to get out of your debris, like clear out some debris so you can put your energy fully into something. So you may need to tie up some loose ends or finish some projects. But so that you can move forward in something. But it feels like this can be a powerful leap forward in your life in some way this week, Virgos. Okie dokie, Libras. Harmony card is coming up for the Libras. This is the third eye activated, your intuition being strong this week, your heart also being activated. There's the double dolphins here. So this can be the beauty of a psychic connection in a relationship. The Harmony card is like feeling this beautiful energy with another person. So this card can come up when there's a beautiful relationship happening, and it's a confirmation that, yes, this is indeed a beautiful relationship. So Libras, if you're at the beginning of a relationship, you might get a deeper level of confirmation that this is your person, this is your partner, this is the person that you're supposed to be doing this deal with. This could be you tapping in psychically to another person that you know already loves you, that has psychic intuition as well. Like we all have psychic intuition, but sometimes you've had relationships where that intuition has already been a given. You already have known that you tap into each other psychically, right? So there could be tapping into a person that you love deeply, but is not in your life. Either they've crossed over, or they're just in a different place in their life, a different place in the world. But just thinking about each other, you have that connection. That also happens with this card, indicating that just with tuning into that person that you feel so psychically connected with, that you can have that sense of touching their soul, touching their heart, touching in with them, checking in with them. You may dream about this person. They may be coming, this person has their eyes closed. So you could have a dream about someone that's really vivid. But this is a beautiful energy. The Harmony card too is just like life in a flow. It's not just about relationships. It's just feeling like you're in rhythm and you're in a flow. But I really feel a highlighted focus on relationships this week, Libras. I mean, you guys are relationship people. The moon's in your sign right now anyway. Sunday, Monday, the moon will be in your sign. So is in your sign, will be in your sign. So I feel like you're getting signs around relationships. And you may also be getting clear signs. You could get even past life flashbacks with this energy, because the psychic third eye is activated so strongly, or a sense of a past life flashback may come up with someone that you know. You may be getting information and insight on someone that's going to be coming into your life as a partner. But this is definitely like, I'm getting a strong sense of like life partner, committed relationship energy. The heart is activated, like feeling loved, supported, someone that sees you for who you are, who says, I pick you, and really grooving with that energy in a really beautiful way this week. So good news on the relationship front for the Libras. All right, Scorpios. I really feel like since the South Node has moved into the Scorpio sign, that y'all will begin to have past life flashbacks. If you don't already, have past life flashbacks coming up, past life memories surfacing over this next year and a half. And so they may have already begun to do that, or people that you've known from past lives really featuring prominently in your lives, really showing up. That's just an added piece that I'm getting for the Scorpios. And I'm getting the trust card for you guys. So this is taking a big leap of faith. It's who can you trust? And are you trusting your own self? Are you trusting your own inner voice? This person is flying through the air. So there could be also planning on a trip or taking a trip this week. And there may be a question of, is this a good time to plan a trip? I mean, we've got the weirdness of COVID out there, but if you get a strong hit about something, That's what I call when your intuition is speaking to you, a hit, that you can trust that. This is like follow the path. I'm seeing this pink really prominently. Follow the path that feels like self-love, that feels like divine love, that feels like compassion. Move towards the things. You can trust the things that are bringing you greater joy, bringing you a greater sense of love and peace. You can trust the people in your life where you relax around them, where you just like, oh, you don't feel guarded around. These are the people in your life that you can trust. You can open your heart to. If you feel guarded or shut down around people, that's a sign that maybe they're not trustworthy and they're not a safe place, whether that's personal relationships or work relationships or family. But it definitely feels like issues of trust are up this week for the Scorpios. Who can you trust? Can you trust yourself? Taking a big leap of faith, going for it, whatever it is that you've been putting your energy into, believing in yourself, that like next level of belief in yourself. Like this may be time to make a vision board for what you're really wanting in your life and trusting that you can manifest your heart's desire. You can manifest the dreams that you have for yourself, for your life, for your work, for your relationships, for the home you love. I also feel like it's important to clear up clutter, clear out debris so you can get a clear sense of guidance. It feels like there's a lot of busyness, being busy, buzz. I'm getting a buzzing sound. So it feels like you need to calm and quiet your environment somehow. To me, silence more than even putting on music this week or driving somewhere where it's just more peaceful and calm and sitting there in the quiet. I'm getting that you really need quiet in order to tune in, because the mind just feels like it's maybe this Mercury and Venus retrograde is making you just like think too much. And this is like needing to just get into your heart and just trusting everything's going to be okay. This too shall pass. I'm getting everything I need is going to be coming to me. Just making some really positive, love-filled affirmations this week, Scorpios. All right, Sagittarius. The healing card. All right. So this card has been the card I've pulled more than any other card lately. So I think this is because COVID is abound. And so that may be affecting your life in some way. Someone you love, the people around you, may be affecting your work life because people have COVID. But there also could be like this energy of the long haul, like maybe you've already had COVID or maybe you've been inoculated for it, but you still feel like there's like a drag to your energy is what I'm feeling like, and not feeling your full optimal prime self. So, and it feels like this need for a respite, relaxation, taking some time off. You might need to get yourself into the hands of a healer. These big hands are really being activated. You may even get your nails done. And if that's not something you usually treat yourself to, or even if it is, like it feels like, yeah, let somebody else do your hands or maybe do your own nails. It just feels like self-care needs to be upped tremendously. You know, go see an acupuncturist, go see a massage therapist, get yourself in the hands of a healer. It might be psychological healing. You might need to talk to a therapist. Talk to a friend where you can just like let it all out of your psyche. Also, there's a hand over the gut. So there's, there may be digestive issues, or maybe you haven't been eating all that great. It's needing to like drink more water, eat more fresh produce, that kind of thing could be happening. I'm also getting a strong, beautiful energy on the heart chakra though, that there's beautiful love, heart ties that are happening this week. This feels like family and friends that really love you. Though there's a lotus flower blooming and blossoming. That could be the start of new love or just the deepening of an older love. but it definitely feels like your heart, like you're feeling special. Maybe you're getting some sort of special recognition, or someone just tells you just the right thing this week as well. There's some sort of acclimate, being acclaimed in some way. Is that the word? Yeah. Um, yeah, it's like you're getting like gold stars by your name. Like you're in school and the teacher's giving you extra gold stars. These feels like karmic brownie points. Like maybe you're feeling like you're working hard and nobody's noticing, but karmically, your guides, the universe is noticing. So like feeling good about yourself and your accomplishments, whether you're being noticed for them or not. Like feeling proud of your own work, what you're doing, what you're bringing to the world, what you're bringing to the planet, what you're doing for others. It feels like there's a beautiful energy for others. And I get that someone new is coming in. There's just like a little pokey thing here I don't know. I just kind of get the feeling there's someone new that's coming in. And if they haven't already just shown up, it's right around the corner. This could be a new friend, a new love interest, someone new at your work, a new client. There's this new energy of somebody new coming in, and it feels like a past life connection. It feels like someone you've known before. So it feels like whoever this new person is going to be around for a while, and it's going to feel good in your life. And if there's some sort of support too, because they're coming on off the shoulder. So I feel like there's a supportive energy. Maybe they're coming in to help you some way, or they're going to bring in more clients, or they're going to help you do your work or help support you emotionally. There's a really energy of support coming in. So that's what I'm getting for the Sages. All righty, we'll go to the Capricorns. Got all these planets in your sign from one end to the other. You've had Pluto in your sign for a while. So most of you have gone through a whole lot of personal transformation. And will continue to be doing that over the next couple of years. It feels like if you're in the middle of some personal change, it's really like the dust isn't going to settle for a couple more years yet until Pluto goes into Aquarius. I pulled the moment to moment card. This is the card that talks about all you need to do is do that next right thing. Take that next right step. What today do you feel guided to do? What this moment do you feel guided to do? Just take that next right step. You're building something. You're building a family. You're building a network. You may be literally building something. You may be working on building a home or building your business, building up clientele, building your family. But there's hard work being put into something that hasn't shown up fully yet. And this is just an affirmation and a confirmation that it will indeed show up. You will have your life really change, but it just feels like you guys may feel battered about by choppy waters right now. And it's just like, okay, this too shall pass. What's the next right thing I need to do? What can I do today to feel loved? What can I do today to bring myself some joy? Do I need to call someone and ask for some support? This guy's balancing on one foot. So it just feels like, you may not feel like you've got both feet underneath you right now. It's like, okay. But he's doing this move. It's almost like he's in the middle of Qigong on one foot. It's like feeling the energy, flowing with it. The martial arts attire here just feels like there's this Zen energy that's permeating. It feels like stop, tune in, drop down, meditate, do some yoga, do some martial arts if you know it, Qigong, Tai Chi. Maybe you need to work out to discharge some built up energy. Get physical, go for a walk, go for a swim. It does feel like there's a need to discharge some blocked up energy, and movement and those things that I just listed could be a wonderful way. And I'm also just sort of getting almost like a mountain energy here in the background. So some of you may be making plans to go to the mountains. You may live in the mountains already. and it could be symbolic of the journey that you're on, but I feel like there's something specific about mountains. Maybe someone you love is in the mountains. You're going to be going to the mountains. There's something about mountains for some of you, Capricorns. Not sure what that is, but I just feel like it's important to notice it. I also get sort of like volcano. So it could be like a volcano, not necessarily a mountain. You could be in Hawaii. That could be part of what's going on here, or somewhere where there's a volcano. There's definitely more surprises coming. So all you need to do is find out the guidance for this one moment, one day at a time. Sometimes you need to chop that up into just one moment at a time and get your guidance for right now. That's all you need to do, and take the action that you feel guided to do. So that's your mantra this week. What this moment do I feel guided to do? And then taking that next right action, even if the next right action is take a nap. Okay. Whoa, hold up. But I feel like there's needing to get some energy flowing. So I really feel like adding regular movement in this week is an important piece for the Capricorns. All right, Aquarians. You guys have the fighting card coming up. So this is a struggle. I went into the fighting card with the Cancers. I've drawn 2 cards on a lot of them today. So you can go back and listen to what I said with the Cancer, because that was also talking about this card. But for you guys, there's definitely something you're frustrated with. You could be frustrated with the state of the politics right now. You could be frustrated with a partner, frustrated with yourself, frustrated with family members. Like there's just like, it just feels like it's built up and old. It doesn't feel like it's something new. It could be something that feels disconcerting, but if it's something else new, it's just added to like the last straw on the camel's back kind of thing, because it feels like there's built up, accumulated frustration and stress. So I feel like there's a need to get that out. I'm getting writing, like just writing out in a journal, talking out with a friend or someone you could trust, your therapist, maybe getting out and getting physical, throwing some bricks up against a wall, or throwing plates at a brick wall, like breaking something, tearing something, like getting even into the anger even more, to just scream and rant and rave and stomp and actually get it out, because it feels like you're not expressing it fully, because it feels like it's blocking this frustration, this anger, this gnarly energy of frustration is blocking the peace, the joy, feeling good about yourself. You feel overwhelmed, feels like something's out of your control. Ugh. And it's like, again or more, I can't deal with this. Like it just feels like you're on the verge of just losing it. And you know, some of this could be just accumulated stress from the times, and you're just like empathic and you're taking on too much stuff from other people, and so you just need to wring yourself out, because it's not only your stress, it's like the stress of the collective that you're picking up on, and the anger of the collective that you're picking up on. Feels like there's a strong possibility that could be going on for you as well. But I feel like there's something you need to say, some way to express it. It may be good to pick up your guitar, sit down at the piano and write a song that expresses, like try to turn it into humor. So I'm like, how can you look at it with the eyes of a comedian and make fun of it to dispel this energy that's built up? I'm getting physical, going for a run, going for a walk, putting on boxing gloves and really pounding something could be really helpful. Expressing, getting something out, because it feels like you're taking it out on yourself somehow. There's like building up. I don't know if you're like over drinking or overeating, or somehow it just feels like this energy is backing up, creating conflict within. So there's a need to discharge it, get it out, clear it out, know that this too shall pass, and tap into the divine energy of peace and joy and love and compassion. Um, and yeah. And again, you can look back and review what I said on the Cancer card, because they pulled the same card for the Cancers. So you might have something there that also resonates for you. I'm really getting something about this headpiece, though, that's going down into the third eye. So I feel like that there's like a blocked conduit into your third eye, like your intuition that usually is pretty strong and open is more blocked than usual. Like you're not being able to access your intuition in ways you just feel off. And so, again, clear, you might even visualize removing anything that may be blocking your third eye, your intuition. You may need to do like an aura cleaning. You may need to go to a Reiki person and have them literally clean your aura, or pick up essential oils that are good for clearing your energy. Because it feels like you need some help. Little essential oils, some rescue remedy would be helpful, I think, for you to rescue you from this energy. Bach flowers rescue remedy. Have you heard of it? Here's one. That's what it looks like. Rescue remedy. Can you see that? It comes with the light. It's hard. Okay, there we go. Bach flower rescue remedy. These are flower essences that can really, you can just take dropfuls underneath your tongue, can really help shift the energy. But I'm getting that you're needing some help. So the support of a loving friend, someone to help assess and see what they point out, what they love about you. Especially if you've got someone who's being negative at you, you definitely need to be affirmed and validated somewhere else. Ideally, you can do that with yourself, but right now it feels like it's tougher than usual to access your own divine inner voice. So it feels like it's okay to ask for help, call a friend up, say, I need you to tell me what you love about me. Yeah, stuff like that. But this too shall pass. You'll move through this. Clear your energy, move your body, generate self-love and compassion in whatever way you can. And the Pisces. Got the stress card, Pisces. So this card's pretty self-explanatory. Like juggling a lot of things, little knit nest, little monkey with the pin trying to knock you down. It just feels like there's too much going on at once. It feels like you're overstimulated, like too much going on. I feel like you are empathic and there's been too much data coming in from other people, and you just need to wring yourself out. It feels like you need to get space from other people. Like even if you just go out on a walk by yourself, climb into the tub by yourself, it feels like you may be dealing with children or work situations or significant others where they're just like they're out of sorts and it's affecting you. You may be juggling something internally as well. You may be dealing with, it just feels like you feel spun around. It's kind of like when you used to spin around as a kid and you stop and you're still dizzy. It has that feeling of like dizzy, like, like your head doesn't feel clear. And that may be physically, you may literally have like allergies or congestion of some sort that's causing you going on. There may be something that's not connecting right in your brain synapses too. Like, for some of you, you may need to go to a doctor and say, help, like I've been having vertigo or whatever's going on. There's a spinning energy. And it just feels like you're doing too much, putting too much pressure on yourself. There's a need to take a break and get out in the sun. I realize it's winter and it's kind of cold and gray out there in a lot of places, but it feels like you may need to pull out or order one of those lights that help with the seasonal affective disorder. Because I feel like you guys, some of you are really being affected negatively by the gray days outside and need some sunshine. You might need some vitamin D too, just to help regulate your system. But even visualize that you're sitting like on a beach in the sunshine could be helpful. Delegating, asking for help, saying, hey, I can't do this all by myself, like cutting yourself a break. Some of you feel like you're spinning and not getting anything accomplished. So better just to stop, take a break, take a nap, start your day with some meditation. Ask yourself, what today do I feel guided to do? Take that next right step, start moving some energy forward. There's also the clutter. There's like cluttered environment. It needs to be organized and cleaned up around you, because that could be contributing to the mental fog and not being able to see or feel things clearly. So there's a need to clean your space, literally, declutter, organize, maybe even rearrange furniture, dust. I also just feel like there's some joy that's just sort of drained out. Like you're just focusing on the negative. So like just, tapping into what you can be grateful for, where are the positives in your life. You can always find them if you look for them. But we have a tendency to like switch on the negative mind and just get stuck there. So it feels like you've just been like stuck in some loop thinking that's going around and around and around and around. So like, whoops, interject a new thought. That's the opposite of whatever you're circulating around. Like, he doesn't love me, doesn't love me, doesn't love me. I am loved. I am loved. I love myself. I receive love easily. That's, change it up. Whatever the negative thing is that you're saying, write it down. Like even writing down all the thoughts that are in your head just to get them out. And like, is any of this true? Is any of these things I need to be doing right now? Am I caught up in the past, replaying something over and over and over again? Am I worried about something that might come in the future that's not even here right now? Like, what do I need right now today? What do I need to know? What do I need to see? What do I need to do? Right? And just take that next right action and kind of unstick yourself. And if you have to, ask for help or just get away from it all, walk away, get some space, get some breathing room to yourself. That's what I get for the Pisces this week. Okay. That's what I get for all 12 signs. Thank you so much for tuning in. Again, love you to subscribe, share this with your friends, and make sure you have some peace.